Hey guys, welcome to the Chloe D and Matt C Something Different podcast, where we talk about life and faith and how they intersect. Let's get into it. Have you ever been camping?
I have been camping.
You have?
Yeah.
So do you like camping?
Yeah, love to.
Really?
We used to do it all the time as kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd y'all like to go?
New Mexico.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Mountains or
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mountain camping. Like
Oh.
Mayhill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
And then I guess we've been to Kittiquay.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoy camping. It was hard camping when we had little kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I have kind of a fun memory. We were not very well-to-do.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun doing the podcast today with the. I feel like my face is this big, and
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
So,
you're good.
You know,
Good.
get
You don't look how you feel.
Get dental work and do a podcast.
Yes.
It's a great plan. But I
Yes.
am gonna have a little lisp today.
That's okay.
So I'm not making fun of anybody, and I may have to control myself.
That's okay.
But we packed everything into a Jetta car, so like a VW Jetta. And
This with your family?
This is me, Crystal,
Okay.
and our 3 kids. Jeremiah was a baby. Like,
Okay.
we wanted to go hiking, and we had some friends. They had preteens and teenagers, and we had the little kids. But Jeremiah was so small that Crystal was wearing him on one of those little backpack things.
Yeah.
And that would have meant Abigail was 3, Elizabeth was 5, and our friends wanted to go geocache.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like a great idea until we started. And my 5-year-old and 3-year-old weren't up for that long of a hike.
Yeah.
And so what do? Well, I picked up the 3-year-old, and a friend carried my 5-year-old, and they were not happy. Elizabeth was not, she didn't know our friend as well, and so she was real scared.
Yeah.
And so she cried and she screamed, and we got to the geocache. We got to the place we wanted to go, but we didn't have any fun doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that was the whole purpose when we went camping, was so we could have fun and make memories. And
You didn't get
we
to.
did. We made memories, but we didn't have any fun.
Yeah.
And our friends were very gracious. The next day they said, "Hey, you want to go on a hike?" And I can tell they were like, "We really don't want you to go," because it was so unenjoyable with our kids not enjoying the trip.
Yes.
And I said, "Yes, we want to go, but you guys go ahead. We're gonna do our own little trip by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take it at our pace." And so it became and is one of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that when we say I want to get to this point, I want to get to this destination, or I want to get to, we're driving somewhere and it's 5 hours away. Like, we're not stopping. We're not going to Buc-ee's. We're not doing anything fun. We're getting there is where we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
And so, I was like that hiking too.
Yeah.
Until I decided getting there wasn't where the joy was. Okay. It was in the journey.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, and so I got some pictures of that trip.
You make some stops?
We stopped and we looked at the prickly pear cactus in bloom and how pretty the flowers were, and we climbed up on a big rock, and we never made it to the top of that hill, like our friends did, but we had a great trip.
Okay, so the getting there was great.
The getting there, the enjoying the journey along the way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times in my life, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
Instead of just enjoying life, like
the process of it.
Like the process of it. Like, I think, not that enjoyment is the but God made life to be enjoyed.
Yes.
Not that that's the end all be all, but we get to enjoy life. Like, He gave us friends and He gave us, families, and And some of those things are hard and difficult in times, but by and large, it's enjoyable.
Yes. Yes. It is.
So, but one of my temptations, I don't know about you, is I have this goal out in front of me, and I can make life unenjoyable for everybody. It's like Elizabeth going up that mountain, and my friend, who was in the military, he wasn't at the time, but he had been in the military.
Yeah.
And this little kid is screaming at the top of her lungs, and he was like, he didn't know what to do. He's this Christian guy. He doesn't want to yell at a kid. Yeah. So he does the alternative. He just sings louder than she's screaming. We're gonna sing Amazing Grace really loud. That's what his plan was. But that wasn't really enjoyable for anyone.
No.
But I can get that way with, like, if I have a goal or I think I need to get somewhere, and I can make it unenjoyable by working so hard to get to that point.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, I don't know. You good?
I had to get it.
That's fine. I love it. Yeah. I think I have a tendency to be overworked or like a workaholic.
Okay.
And I don't know where that comes from.
Like, is it everything you do, or
like, am I like all in or all out kind of thing?
Like it's 100%.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, I'm not halfway on really anything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna be if I'm in it, I'm in it to win it. Like I want to be the best at whatever it is.
Okay. I got. So do you feel like it's a competitiveness?
Maybe I mean that might be part of it.
Is it with yourself?
I think some of it comes from insecurity.
Okay. Okay. So like a overcompensating type thing. Like you feel like you need to.
Like I'm not good enough in whatever area it is. I mean, whether it's going on a hike or whether it's doing a podcast or whatever.
Yes.
Like I want it to be.
You want it to be good.
I want it to be great.
Okay. Okay.
And it is great.
Okay. And I'm like, I guess I feel like good to me is still great in a way. And that sounds or not, it doesn't sound terrible, but I still classifies them as the same. You get what you're saying. It's not the same. Good and great or not. Great is better than good. But
I'm not a perfectionist though. Like perfectionism is a different thing. Some of it is like from insecurity, but I also think some of it is learned. Like I love my dad.
Yeah.
But I think in many ways his identity as a man was wrapped up in work.
Okay.
And so if he wasn't working, he wasn't a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my grandpa really helped him whenever he married my mom.
Okay.
Because my grandpa had this saying and said, all work and no play makes Randy a dull boy. And my dad's name was Randy.
Okay.
And so, anyways, and so.
So was this your mom's?
My mom's dad.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Helped my dad learn how to take vacations.
Okay. To live.
To enjoy the journey along the way, and not wait till we get to retirement or we get to whatever it is, right?
Yeah, whatever your end goal is.
Whatever success is.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times we're waiting until we become successful.
What does that mean for you? What does your successful mean? Are you successful now?
I think I am, but I think I've learned to also enjoy the journey along the way, to view success differently than I used to.
Okay.
Because used to it was, if you have this many kids in your youth group, or if you have this many people at church, or if you're doing all of these ministries, how's your calendar look? I know that I used to try to fill my calendar so full because, and it was almost a point. It wasn't almost. It was a point of pride.
Okay. Okay.
That like I only had 4 days off this summer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Like you felt like you had accomplished something.
I felt like I was better. I mean,
I understand that. I do.
Like I was comparing myself to everyone else, And I felt that since I was more busy,
that meant that
that I was better,
Mhm.
or that I was sufficient.
Yeah,
Maybe not even better, but I was as good as.
I got you. Yeah.
Because I have for a long time struggled with being insecure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the way I compensated for that was working harder,
Doing more.
doing more. Like,
Uh-huh.
I may not be as good, but I'll do more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's some of that.
Do you still feel that way?
Um, some. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I think that's a part of me. I try to, maybe not a great part, but like part of me.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, in your line of work, like doing more is better because, and I do, like, you do have to sit and think, like, what is doing better? What does it mean? What does it look like?
Yeah.
But you do want to do more and you do want to do better because you want to bring people.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm like, I feel like you feel this way. Like, to bring more people in means more people to follow God.
Sure. Yeah. Or on the journey at least.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm like, that
What about for you? Like, do you ever feel tempted to be like what I would call like overworking?
I did. I
Oh,
did.
okay.
I don't anymore.
So
But,
what's that journey? How was that journey?
well, I guess because of being self-employed, um, my, I, like at the very beginning, you're almost like you have to be available to your job. You have to be available to people
Okay.
and people's time.
Okay. So you got to make time.
Yeah, I had to work around your schedule.
Okay.
So that's kind of what work looked like starting off was just sitting and waiting. And sometimes waiting for days and seeing nobody. Sometimes having the best day ever. Like just kind of high and lows. It's still high and lows. I've been doing it for 10 years and there's still high and lows. Um but also being raised by self-employed
Yeah.
family, I did learn, you know, what I watched them do. But when I guess I feel like I worked for myself for about 6 years. And then
Okay.
when I opened the salon, I was no longer just working for myself.
Okay. So
I was working for others.
how's that
Well,
transitioned and changed, and has it helped?
okay, so for I guess probably the first 2 years I was pretty I there was some nights that I would sleep there.
Okay. Really?
Yes, really. Just because like I would have something going on a Friday night. Like I spent a lot of Friday nights there. I spent a lot of Saturday nights there. I spent tons of Sundays there.
Really?
Like there was just a lot of stuff starting out that I had to do that I don't have to do now.
Okay. So it's just startup.
This was
Part of the startup expense was your energy.
Yes. It got all of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think it's benefited. You know what I mean? Like I've seen
Yeah.
a reward from it, but when I got married, um and it took a while even after the first year of our marriage, I was still very much working the way I was. Within the last year, I've been able to remove myself. And that's where I've seen some of my hard times in 2024
Okay.
because I used to take appointments as late as 6:30 at night.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so I would not be out of there until 9:30, sometimes 10.
Okay.
And that was an everyday thing for me.
Yeah.
So,
Part of making yourself available to
yeah.
people.
Yes. Well, and it's like I lost a good chunk of my clientele
Yeah.
because I'm not taking late appointments anymore.
Because that you were like that was something special you did.
Yeah, yes. Yes. And it's just the things, the conversations, like
Mm-hmm.
now that I've removed myself, but I was jeopardizing my time with Swayze.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of sacrifices she made for my busy schedule.
Yeah.
And I remember people sitting in my chair and complaining to me about how busy they were.
Yeah.
And they were always talking about being busy running around with their kids and doing stuff with their kids. And I remember like thinking to myself, how is that what you're complaining about?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I love doing your hair. I
Yeah.
love being with you.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I
you're a
have
people
no
person.
yes, I have no complaints about this. Like, this is what I want to do. But you get to run around with your kid. My kid can't even be in sports right now because I'm here doing your hair.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was my choice, but and that's I mean, like, my afternoons were always the busiest time. You know, like, I have a weird schedule. I'm available to the people. I'm available when the people need me. I'll never be able to not work Saturdays. That's just,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get away from it. I do get off at 4 o'clock now,
Okay.
and I get to pick my daughter up.
Yeah.
And like if my
Do you
daughter,
have a day off?
yeah, I have lots of days off, unfortunately now. I have too many days off
But
now.
do you have a specific day that you take off?
Yes.
Not that
Yes.
you.
I say that, but no, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
Other than Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday is my only day
Like
that
your day. So that's a day off. You
yeah,
chose
I
a day
will
of
not
rest.
go to the salon on Sunday.
Okay.
Mondays and Thursdays are considered my days off, but I typically am there Monday and Thursday.
Okay.
And you may not I like it'll be early in the morning,
So
later.
it's kind of like a light work day.
Mhm.
Most
Yes.
times. Most
Yes.
times. There's exceptions. But
Yeah, I will take some clients on a Thursday. I will, but I'm like you said, I'm only gonna take something little,
yeah.
like one of, um, because I've changed my life
Yeah.
and my work schedule. I am not as busy, um, which is like there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
I'm making less money, which has been hard to kind of, making.
That's a
That's the
part of life,
truth.
isn't it?
That's
Right?
the truth. Like I'm making less
You
money.
got to choose it.
Yes, but it's almost like, and I think like you're saying, I get to be with my daughter,
Yeah.
and that to me is very rewarding.
Sure
That
enough.
I get to be a parent now.
Mm.
Um, but and then when you're making this money and you're still spending this money, but you're not making it.
Yeah. So you just have to
I've had it's
so
been
that
a rough balance for me.
yeah,
I
because
took a
like
pay cut.
ooh,
Big
okay.
a big pay cut. A big one. One that'll hurt your feelings.
But would you say if you could if someone could say to you, you could have this money back, but you're going to lose this time,
Mm-mm.
which would you take?
I would take the time.
The time?
That's where I'm at now,
Yeah.
But the only reason I do feel like I can be that is because I have Tyler.
Yeah.
Like I did not have Tyler. I had my parents,
Yeah.
but I did try really, really hard. And I mean, like they're still helping me.
Sure.
Like it's
Like
not
they're still your parents.
yes, but I tried very hard not to depend on them.
Okay.
I wanted, and I did. I did depend on them. I did, but it was a different. It was a different.
Yeah.
It was different.
So still hustling,
Yes,
right?
still hustling.
But choosing some different things to hustle after.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I was always impressed with my grandpa, my mom's dad.
Mhm.
He was a welder in a
Okay.
small town
Okay.
that was, kind of like the small town I live in right now. That's agricultural based.
Yeah.
Um, and during one of the busiest times, so right, kind of almost in the middle of harvest, because of the way that school schedules and things like that worked, my grandpa
Mhm.
chose to take a week off.
Okay.
And he'd shut his shop down, and
Yeah.
all of the farmers would be mad at him
Yeah. Yeah.
because they had broken
they had stuff.
implements
Yes.
that they needed repaired,
Yes.
and they needed him to do it. But he said it was more important to him to take a vacation with his kids and grandkids
Mhm.
than make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean that's a really cool part of my legacy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't I should, but I don't live that way.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
So if you ask me when my day off is, I don't
You
take
don't take
I
it.
don't take it off.
Yeah.
Now I take hours off,
Yes.
and I have a really flexible schedule. I have a group of understanding people because I genuinely love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if people ask me what's my hobby, this,
That
like,
is your
not
hobby.
podcasting, but
Yeah.
but like thinking about like helping people and
Yeah.
thinking about, you know, different ways to connect with people
Mm-hmm.
like that. I genuinely enjoy it. Now there's parts of it that are a job,
Yeah.
but it's my dream job.
Yes. Yeah.
And so like it's I don't feel like it's a burden, but at the same time it does take away time
It
from different
does.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like there is a freedom in it. I felt that way about my dad's job. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a lifestyle. Like farming
Oh,
is a lifestyle. It is not,
it's and
you're
then
not turned off.
there's certain times of the year in farming.
Mm-hmm.
Full disclosure, my son works for her dad. Um, and so, but there is times where, like in harvest, if it's time to strip cotton,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
you got to go
Yes.
as long as you can.
Yes. Yes.
And
You're,
your it's an opportunity window,
yeah.
and you have
Yeah.
to maximize your
For
opportunity
sure.
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not the rest of the year. I hate to say it that way, but other times you have to be disciplined, and that's the crazy thing about farming and people that are entrepreneurs is you have to maximize and think about like I need to do this.
Yes. Well, there's still, just because I'm in my downtime
Yeah,
doesn't mean that it's really down. Or you're still,
yeah,
there's still things to be done. And
yes.
you do have to maintain.
You got to be real disciplined.
You do. You do.
So how do you like how do you at the salon how do you manage that?
How do I manage the salon?
Well, like the downtime, like so the riding the wave of
Yeah.
activity.
Okay, well, and like right now, I'm experiencing a downtime. Like as far as my chair is not as busy,
Okay,
so I have a lot of time. So this week I will discipline myself to go sit at the salon.
okay. Even though
And
your chair is empty.
I'll find, yeah, even though my chair is empty, I'm going to go sit up there.
Okay,
I'm going to be there Monday through Saturday this week.
okay,
Um, but I have things to do because it is mine. Like there's things I can find to do up there.
sure.
So I'm like, I've got projects I'm gonna attempt to work on,
Yeah,
during my downtime.
there you go.
Um,
Like kind of a plan for the
yes,
future
yes,
and like help grow the business
yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah,
social media and all that
yeah,
good stuff too.
yes, all that. Because social media is another full-time job.
It it is, and you
It
got to
is.
think differently.
Yeah, yeah.
But it can also, I've discovered, it can consume time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about like scrolling, you know, like,
Mm-mm.
but like if you let it, like you think about, like you talk about overworking,
Yeah,
and
that right there is overworking.
it can become
Mm-hmm.
that. It can become just like this work that never leaves you.
No.
Like it maybe in your case, it's someone texts and says, "Hey, at 2 o'clock in the morning or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I really need an appointment tomorrow.
Yeah,
Can you work me in?"
yeah,
Well, in a time that you're normally sleeping,
yeah.
you're now working,
Yes, yes.
and so you're on call.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that technology has robbed us of
Yes.
is some downtime
Yeah,
that we
for sure.
normally had.
Yeah. I used to have 2 phones for that, but it really wasn't effective. It didn't work for me. You know what I mean? Because I was still like
Would you
carrying
give
my
out
phone.
would you give out your personal anyway?
Well, like a good chunk of my clients already had my personal, so they were still using my personal. I was like, I'm gonna try to separate the two. There was no separating that.
Okay.
Not for me. Some people can do
Some
it.
people
Not
can, and yeah,
not for me.
absolutely.
Um, but yeah, no, it is overworking. My brain stays in overdrive of the things I'm not doing.
Do you feel guilty about that?
All the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you manage that guilt?
Well, I think like in the past I just overworked myself, like
Oh,
to try to like deflect from all the things I wasn't doing.
yeah.
But right now in my life, I'm to a point where I don't want to deflect anymore and I want to take things head on.
Okay.
And I personally only feel like you can do that with God.
Sure.
And so, like I told my mom yesterday, I was like, I know that there's more that I need to be doing. Um, but I'm like, I just want to, I'm to the point where I'm like, God, I'm letting you, because I am a control freak and I have led on my own, not with God, for several years.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I want you to help me because you can do this way better than I can.
Absolutely. I think that so one of my uh, verses that have been meaningful.
What?
No, one of the verses that has been meaningful for my whole life has been Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and don't lean on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge Him, and He'll make your path straight." But I think my temptation is I want to trust in the Lord with some of my heart,
Yeah,
not all of it.
not all of it.
And when I trust in the Lord with all of my heart, um, it's it's hard because like you, I don't know. I feel like preachers shouldn't say that's hard, but it is hard.
You're
Like,
human.
but like it's hard because when I'm in control, I feel in control.
Yeah.
But when I'm trusting, then that means I have to get out of the driver's seat.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Absolutely.
and and so that's
a hard thing.
that's a difficult thing because I want to control my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but trusting in God is I think it protects me from overworking for other different people.
For sure.
Like that, I think that that's a good caveat that we need to throw in there is that like I love my job,
Mm-hmm.
and not that other people don't love their job, but like I would do this for free.
Yeah. You
I really would.
but I'm like in a way you are. You not like
Yeah, no, yeah, I
not
am.
like that, but I do kind
There
of
are
feel
things that I do for free.
yes. The way you give your time is a service.
Well,
And
yeah,
yes, it is it is your job, but it's not your job. You
yeah.
don't have to.
There's
You
well,
could get up there Sunday morning and just preach, and you'd still get paid, right?
probably,
Right?
maybe.
Am I wrong?
I think there would still be some people. I think
No, I mean,
when you make pleasing people the goal, you'll always be disappointing someone.
yes. But I think that giving to people has rewards.
Yeah,
And your service is your reward.
I think yeah, that's fair. Um,
So I'm like, I get why you,
I enjoy it though. Like I enjoy. I'm like we said before. I'm an introvert, but I'm a confused introvert
okay.
because
Well, you can be either way.
because like I want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I want to find a rhythm to be able to do that. Which I think is an interesting idea that like you said, you take off Sundays,
Yeah.
and I think that's an interesting idea that God gives to us is that everyone needs a break, but not just a like what's the purpose of your break?
Yeah.
Because I think like if my break is just I'm gonna sleep and veg out and like that, some people do that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know that fills up my physical tank. If I'm
Uh-huh.
if I'm worn out,
Yeah.
I do need to sleep more.
Yeah.
But I think we were created for more, and I think maybe thinking differently about rest.
Yeah.
Like, how am I refilling my spiritual tank? How am I reconnecting with my family? Am I being intentional about that?
Yeah.
Like all of that.
Yeah.
And how am I involving? Um, so ministry is not like my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ministry is my family's thing.
Yes.
Like it's something that my wife and I both um, feel is very important. Not
Uh-huh.
that other people don't, but
Yeah. No,
we're both involved in different things, and like she leads things, and I support her, and I lead things, and she
yes.
supports me. So we're a great team.
Yes.
But our kids are involved in that too. Like
Yes. It is a
like
family ministry.
like I'm leading a retreat pretty soon, and
Mhm.
like I'm asking my kids like, hey, can you help me do this? And hey, what do you think about this idea?
Yeah. They're
Like
involved too.
it's as much their retreat as it is mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Which
it's
is
our
awesome.
it,
Well,
it,
and it
it
is a family
it's a
ministry.
family thing, and so
Yeah.
I think that's that's important to me.
Yeah.
Um, and I
It's
think
a
it's important. I think it's important as like I think it's one of the reasons God encourages us. He
mhm.
doesn't make us, but encourages us to take a day of rest.
Yeah. You need to reset.
You need to reset. You
Mhm.
need to reconnect with your
Mhm.
family. You need to make time.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, making time for your daughter,
Yeah.
and making that like if you could choose between money and time, you'd pick time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's wise. I just regret that it took me a while to get here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I do. I think everybody lives with regrets, and if you don't live with regrets, you just don't have you're just not taking a honest view of it.
I would agree with you on that. Cuz yeah, cuz we all have them.
We all have them,
Mhm.
and so it's like learning from those things, and if we can do things different, doing them different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like one of my uh, big regrets is that I didn't go see my parents more.
Okay.
So, um, my dad died 6 years ago. My mom died 10 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
And so,
And you missed out.
but I was working so hard,
Mhm.
trying to be successful,
Yeah.
that I missed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean,
That's hard.
that's difficult.
Yeah.
I hope that my kids do better than I did,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I feel like they will.
I think so. I hope
Mhm.
that they learn from my mistake,
Yeah.
but they're gonna have to learn it on their own.
For sure.
That's
Uh-huh.
like my parents were trying to tell me that. Did I listen?
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, people
Yeah.
got to be ready to hear it.
For sure. You have to be yes. You have to be ready.
But I think just like thinking about that idea of like enjoying the journey, though, like I think God made this life to be enjoyed,
Mhm.
not just endured.
I agree.
Like there's parts of it that are hard that we're just. I mean, we're just trying to make it to the next day.
Yeah.
But I think that like he gave us friends so that we could enjoy community.
Mhm.
He gave us family so we could learn what love is like.
Yeah.
Um, and he gave us the ability to enjoy things. You
Yeah.
know, he could have made ice cream just taste like nothing, but I mean, he
Mhm.
gave us ice cream and it tastes great.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, but you think about that in other areas of your life, like
Yeah.
what do you enjoy doing? So maybe this is an unfair question because I feel like I don't I feel like you if you ask me it back, it's like a dumb answer. But uh, what do you enjoy doing? Like
Um
maybe a hobby.
I guess like truthfully, I like to do I I really I'm like between the house and the salon, I'm always redoing something.
Okay.
So I like projects.
So
I like
like
painting.
interior
Yes.
design, paint.
Yes.
Okay.
Paint. And I'm like, I'll paint walls all day. I don't enjoy painting walls, but I'll do it because I like the change. I
Okay.
really wish I could get into some more like I'm scared of the power tool, but I got one in my shed and I need to pull it out, but I don't know what I'm doing. I need my dad.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like I wish sometimes like I could like I don't know, just have the balls to just do it myself. I'm like scared.
Oh, my daughter called me the other day and she said, "Dad, thank you so much for teaching me how to use a drill."
Yeah.
And I don't know
Yes.
that I ever really taught her. It was just like, we got to do this. So here you go,
Yes.
use it.
Yes.
And it was something that needed to be done at her job. and all the other girls didn't know how to use a drill, and she's like, "I got this."
Yeah.
And so
I know.
it was
Yeah.
just,
But
I mean,
for real though, I've told my dad that too because we have worked on 3 houses together.
yeah,
Well, we've worked on 2 houses together, and from that I've learned he lets me be his assistant.
there you go.
But he used to tell me, he's like, if I teach you everything, then you're not gonna need a man. And I need you to need a man. He was like, I cannot let you do everything. He always makes fun of me.
I love that.
Yeah. So
Because we need we need other people.
We do. And
And I think
my dad was right. I needed Tyler. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And at that point in my life, I was I don't need anybody and I don't need a man and I don't want a man. But now that I have a man, I'm like, thank God I have him. You know?
Absolutely. So do you think that when we overwork, we're just trying to do it all, everything, all on our own because we feel the weight on our shoulder and it's hard for us to rely on other people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, kind of, how do we get to a place where we can trust people so that we're not overworking ourselves? So we're enjoying the journey of life.
Yeah. I I think it really is like taking a step back. Like removing yourself from being in control.
Mm. So
Easier said than done. I'm sitting there saying that and I'm like,
I know, like,
that's great.
doesn't it? And then like I'm like feeling convicted,
Uh-huh.
like as we're talking, like I do need to take more vacations, like
You do.
like
You do.
but and I mean I took one 2 years ago,
Well, I'm just saying.
and then like every summer camp that we go do, I feel like some of
Vacations for you.
feels like some of
For
that
sure.
feels like vacation. There's some of it that feels like work, um,
Absolutely.
but I do need to prioritize that. My kids are getting older. They're almost all of them are adults. Um, and that is something that I hope that I can create that in our family.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
this is our tradition.
Mm-hmm.
We're all gonna go to the mountains, and
Yeah.
so mark this on your calendar as they start their families and,
Yeah.
and start doing life. Like if I can say whatever week it is, this is gonna be our family vacation week because I want them to do better than I did.
Yeah.
And that was something my grandpa did for my dad. Like, even though he was his son-in-law,
No, I think that those are sometimes the best relationships.
they really can be, because grandpa would, I mean, sometimes money was tight in our family,
Mm-hmm.
and grandpa would, he wouldn't he wouldn't rob dad of his honor,
Mm-hmm.
but he would say, "Hey, I'd like to, uh, you know, I'd like to buy the boys fishing license."
Gotcha.
Or,
Yes.
so it was like gifts. There were certain
Yes.
things that he gave us
Yes.
gifts, and then there was other things my dad did
Yeah.
because he wanted to be able to work and
Yeah.
earn it. And
Yeah. Yeah. For
anyways,
sure.
um, well,
It's something we both gotta work on.
it is.
There's
Like,
so
man,
many areas to work on.
I feel like doing a podcast may be a terrible idea.
Why? Why?
Because I feel like it's just gonna show me all these areas of my life that because I think it's good. I really do. Like it's like it's like holding up a mirror and genuinely looking at yourself and going, because we could get on a podcast and we could lie or we could fake, and I think that's just there. I don't want to do that.
I don't either.
Like I want to be I want to be genuine in all areas of my life, even digitally.
Yeah.
Because I think so many times, especially digitally, I want to be like, my life is perfect. Look at my perfect children, and they're matching pajamas.
I feel so opposite.
And they're
Look at
matching
my matching pajamas. No.
Yeah,
No.
I know, but
No.
I feel so tempted to be like, my family's perfect,
Mm-mm. It's
and
so
and they're not.
yeah.
I mean,
they're not yours. I'm talking about.
no, you're good. They're so far from it. Your kids are terrible.
Yes.
No.
No, you have great kids.
No, and
You've got some great kids.
But they are still kids.
Yeah.
And they do still make mistakes, just like I do. And I think part of enjoying the journey is dropping the burden of being perfect.
Yes, because you don't have to be.
Because you don't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and enjoying the journey can be simply stopping and looking at the prickly pear blossoms.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that can make a.
But it's so cool.
It's they are so cool, but it's also like it can create core memories. Like genuinely, that's some of my favorite memories that I have of my whole life
Mm-hmm.
is learning to just slow down
Yeah.
and smell the roses.
Smell the roses. Yep. Yep.
But just like slow down and enjoy the life that you have.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
so hard when I'm like
Feeling like you're.
feeling inadequate, insufficient, feeling
And that's
less
the devil.
than.
That's the devil.
It is.
And I do feel those same things.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
That is the devil telling you otherwise.
Because I think if he can hurry us or make us feel hurried, he can rob us of joy, which God intended us to have.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, I think a podcast is great to I think it's just that I've wanted to say things that I don't know how to say otherwise, and I don't feel perfect on social media. I actually want to tell you all the uglies. But it's just negative. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be negative, so I don't say anything.
Okay.
But
You have
but it's
nothing
the
nice to
truth.
say.
Well, it's not that I don't have anything nice to say. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like life is messy.
That is a really important thing that people need to hear.
Yes. Like I'm may not be in the same place as you, but we're all dealing. We're all going through things. We're all experiencing things. That doesn't mean nobody's better than anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I think that's like I think we get out measuring sticks
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
go,
not.
you know, like I'm better than you because I don't struggle with X or Y or Z. I'm better than you because look how big my house is and how nice my car is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's bad to have a nice house or a nice
Yes.
car,
Absolutely.
but to measure success
Off
or
of those
off
things.
of those things, it is a robber of joy. Like to compare ourselves to the neighbor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's,
I don't want to live like that.
but I struggle sometimes remembering to not live like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like, what is the measurement of joy then? And what is the thing that gives joy?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it comes back to that verse of trusting in God. Like, when I trust in God and remember to trust in God,
Yeah.
my life is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's not that the situations have changed at
Yeah.
all. It's
Yes.
just like my joy level has
It's like
increased.
a peace. Just an instant peace over you. It's weird. And then sometimes I'm like, why am I living otherwise? Like, why am I
Yes.
doing things different?
Like, and then, like, why do I have delusional thinking?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and then why do I slip back into delusional thinking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because after I've experienced peace and joy and love, why would I live differently?
Yeah. Yes. Why?
But I do sometimes.
Eh, I think it's a battle we are going to for the rest of our life go through.
Yeah.
Like we are going to always be having high and lows and growth and not growth, and I don't think it's ever going to stop. I don't
I
as
hope
long
not.
as
I
we're
hope not.
yeah, and I don't want to stop growing either. You know what I mean? I hope to just continue to grow. Like
Yeah. I
there's
think that I want my life to look like, you know, as far as like a scale, like I want it to be like a steady incline. But truthfully, it's mountain tops
yeah,
and valleys and mountaintops and
it
valleys
is.
because I learned so much in the valley.
Yeah.
After I get down there,
Yes. Yes.
it's
Yes.
it's pretty tough. But after I get down there, um, I do learn and then ascend to a mountaintop.
Yeah.
Um, well, I'm glad to know that you like to go to the mountains. That if you could choose the mountains or the beach, which would you pick?
That's kind of hard. Probably not the beach because I don't want to get in the water.
Are you scared of Jaws?
No, no, I just don't like being splashed with aggressive water. Like, it's not
Aggressive.
well,
I've never heard the ocean called aggressive
I guess
water.
it just depends on where you are. The last time we went to the beach, it was aggressive, and I was like, I'm not getting in there.
Yeah.
You couldn't even really stand there without getting hit
Okay.
with the water. That doesn't sound fun. The
I-
lake, I like the lake. I like the swimming pool.
Okay. All right. So
Like
you're not a fan of water. You're just not a fan of aggressive water.
Yeah. So I like the mountains, but I could do some hiking. I guess,
Hmm.
you could do some hiking and
I'm more a fan of the mountains than
the
the
water.
ocean. I don't mind the ocean. I don't swim well,
Okay. Okay.
so that's always kind of scary.
Yeah.
But I do like to body surf, and so if I'm going to be at the ocean, I want the aggressive water.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, uh, the ocean's only fun for about one day, and then you have sand everywhere,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. and that's not fun.
No. No.
But the mountains, like, you really don't have that problem. There's other problems you have in the mountains, but and we won't get into that in this podcast. But to me, it's peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
The ocean or the beach is not as peaceful.
Okay.
It's generally crowded because a lot of people go there, and the mountains are usually about like peace, seclusion, and serenity.
Well, and you're with creation.
You're in creation. You're in creation both places, but like in the mountains, you're usually with just like the group of people you wanted to be with. And at the beach, you're with,
Everybody. Anybody.
every college student that's known to man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And aggressive water.
Yeah. And aggressive water. We don't want that aggressive water.
Anyways, all right. Well,
good talk.
Good talk.